Well, hi viewers. I'm out on the Surron again today. I'm going to go to a waterfall which is basically over 600 years old. It's during what the Japanese call the Heian-period. So we're going to go and have a look at that today. I changed the front mudguard on the Surron back to the smaller one. It suits the road tyre more. Batteries are fully charged, or battery is fully charged. I don't think there'll be a lot of traffic today. So today I'm testing out the new 3-meter selfie stick that I actually put on the bike. It's on the back. I did a little bit of a test yesterday just to see how it would go, and it broke at the base, so I glued it last night, so that part failed. So hopefully it won't do that again today. Get some power out of here. Here we go. A nice bit of burst of power round the corner. I'm used to the Surron having the motocross tyres, so I'm not used to actually giving it a lot of power around the corner, so it's fun to do that. This road's a bit bumpy though, so I don't want to upset the camera. This is a short trip. I don't expect it to take too long, probably about 15 minutes or less. Get that power going there. There is some better roads after we get over the top of this hill. There's some better roads, so I'd like to give it a bit more power then, see how it goes. For those of you who are thinking of buying a Surron, you really need to, before you go out and buy one, or as I said, you're thinking about it, you really need to decide what you're going to use it for. So if you're going to use it as a daily commuting bike, I recommend you change the seat. As I talked in my previous video, the seat is a bit uncomfortable because it's designed for off-road use, which in off-road you're meant to be standing like this when you're going over the trails, so you're not really sitting on it for a long period of time. So that's something that you need to consider. You can buy quite a few aftermarket seats that are better than the standard one. And the second thing is that if you want to take it for, rather than just commuting for a longer run, then I recommend you upgrade the battery. The 60 amp hour battery that comes, 32 amp hour battery that comes with it is nowhere near enough. It runs out of energy pretty quick. So as a progression path, the first thing I would do is the battery, and that'll give you the range straight away. And then perhaps the seat as you start to get used to the bike and taking it for a ride. And then when you really get used to it, and then you'll find that there isn't quite enough power, then you can upgrade the controller. By upgrading the battery, doesn't matter what battery you put in, the BMS inside the battery controls how much power goes to the controller. So the Surron's limited to, I think it's 90 amps, the standard battery. So the ChiBattery I have in here is, I think, up to 200, and just around 200 amps it can deliver. I've got it programmed to deliver a max of about 150, but I've got that limited by the kilowatt range on the battery, the kilowatt power, sorry, of the motor. A lot of people buy a new battery and think they're going to get more power out of the bike, but they don't, because the controller's standard. And then vice versa, people will upgrade the controller and think they'll get more power, but they won't, because the BMS in the battery will only still give you 90 amps out of the battery to the controller, no matter how powerful a controller is. So if you go down that path, you have to do both the controller and the battery. But for range only, if you're happy with the power, for range only, then you can just upgrade the battery and then just play with the rear sprocket. The combination I found best on the Surron for basically all riding conditions is a 58 tooth sprocket. It gives you the best of everything. It gives you the torque for up hills, and although you do lack a little bit of top speed, your range actually increases with a 58 tooth sprocket, because you've got torque to pull your body, as well as, you know, your own body weight plus the weight of the bike up and down, well, not down hills but up hills. So yeah, it is good. The chain itself, if you're really after the best range at all possible, use a non-O-ring chain with a 58 tooth sprocket, and that gives you the maximum range that you can get out of the bike. Doesn't matter if it's standard or if it's a modified bike like this one. That's the best that you can do, non-O-ring chain with 58 tooth sprocket. I've currently got a 54 tooth sprocket on here with an O-ring chain, and it's fine for just around here. As a commuting bike, that's a perfect combination. You get reasonable torque, and it's a lot quieter with the O-ring chain. Here we go, give it a bit of curry around here. There's no way you can do this on the Super Soco. It's much more exciting around these roads on the Surron, that's for sure. The road tyre configuration is great, it's really quiet. That's something I'm looking forward to doing on the Surron. As I mentioned previously in other videos, that the Surron has a hybrid type tyre, semi-road off-road tyre, and it's a bit noisy. And also the profile's a little bit high, so I'm interested in putting low profile road tyres front and back on the Super Soco, and that'll give me a bit more torque. I'll get a lower profile tyre for the rear and front, but in the rear certainly. And it'll be quiet, so it'll be good. It belts around these corners lovely. One thing you can't do with this Surron, and that's put a rear carry setup on there, a luggage rack or whatever you want for your gear. I have made a slight modification to the rear to make it a little bit more stable, where the mud guard goes and the number, because it was kept breaking, the number plate holder, because of the off-road work I was doing on it. But the way the frame is, you can't really have a rear carry. So as a commuting bike, you definitely need to have a backpack. And of course, it's fully open, you're fully exposed to the elements. So in the warmer seasons it's fine, but in the middle of winter it may not be the best bike for that. Okay, we're just going to turn left here, and this will take us to the waterfall area. Narrows up around here. I just have to be a little bit careful on the corner. There's sometimes rocks and small pebbles and things around the corners, so I don't particularly want to come off today. Well, I don't want to come off any day, but today's a little bit cold and I'm a bit far away from anybody, so if I do come off, there's nobody around. Okay, left again. So the Heian period in Japan, if you've seen any pictures of old Japan, it's where they used to shave, the ladies used to shave their eyebrows off and put really high eyebrows on their foreheads with black makeup, and also their teeth used to be black as well. Not from bad hygiene, but it was a colour that they put on them. And they had the men had interesting sort of long tall hats, Japanese style hats. So this is, waterfall was used in that period for those aristocrats that wanted to come out into nature. They would come out here with on horses with their group of minders, and yeah, they'd admire the waterfall. So we're just about here, a couple of more bends. So here's the waterfall there. That's the entrance, so I'm just going to pull over here. So we're just going to stop. I'll do a quick walk around of the Surron, and we'll have a look at the waterfall. We'll go down and have a look, and we'll see what it's all about. So yeah, in part two I'll just get back on the bike, and there's an area near here where we can go near the dam and just finish up. So we'll see you in a minute. Thanks. Okay, so we just got back from the waterfall and we're just going to continue on down the road here, and we're just going to stop a little bit further up the road. There we go. So that was really interesting. Yeah, it's the first time for me to see that waterfall. It's quite spectacular. The video doesn't do it justice because it doesn't really give you a comparison of size. If there was somebody over the other side of the actual rock formation standing right next to the water, you'd see how small they were in comparison. So it is quite large. But it is in the middle of nowhere. I can't see how people actually found it and actually came here for recreational purposes, 800 years ago, 1,000 years ago. It's beyond me. Just turn here to the left. My brakes decided to suddenly start squeaking. I don't know why. Probably complaining because it's cold. It's not too bad today. Temperature's about 5 degrees. It's going to be a lot warmer today, probably up to 12. Just cross over here. Here we go. Give it a bit of stick across the bridge. It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. This is the same road I came on the Super Soco for the first or last ride. I think it was the last ride of 2023. I'm just going to pull over into here. Look at this parking area, nobody's about. And then we'll finish up today. Where's a good place to finish up? Let's go over here on the grass. Yeah, here we go. Good a place as any. Yeah, so thank you today. It was good that we could actually get out and see the waterfall. It's a little bit overcast. But at least it wasn't super cold weather or raining or snowing or anything like that. And the configuration on the Surron with those road tyres is excellent. I'm very happy with that. So hopefully again I can get out on the Surron and also the Super Soco and do some touring while the weather is good. For some reason this year. Normally it would have snowed, 3 or 4 times, but it hasn't, so it's been good. Okay, so we'll finish up, and yeah, thank you very much. It's been good, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you. Thank you again.